Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching the All Tanks, All Tens Mega Series. This is where I take every tank spec from character creation to clearing all tens in the War Within Season 3. This character, a Brewmaster Monk, was made during a 24-hour stream. I almost exclusively played it during those 24 hours. I did have a little break where I played a bit of Dark Souls, and then a little break near the end where I played my Warrior because I ran out of things to do that didn't take way too long to do, like normal raid and stuff like that. And I didn't want to start M+, so here we are. What's the character looking like? Well, we're 695, almost 696 item level. We've got a 704 weapon crafted from the thingy with the stuff. What's it called? The enchanted rune crest you can get from doing the quest that has you kill the last boss, Dimensius. We have fully upgraded Reshi wraps, of course. We have the Delve belt fully upgraded. From time walking, we got this trinket, which was amazing. We also crafted a ring because we had still one spark left over, and the rest is just gear we got from M0, from the time walking raid, and from Delves. So I also upgraded everything to at least 4 out of 8 champions, so this character already has Carved of the Ethereal cleared. As you can see, we're decked the hell out. And some would argue I'm ready to complete this challenge and do all my 10s with this item level that I have. Now, I do like to over prepare, and every character I make, I usually gear it out as soon as possible so I don't have to stop in the middle of the series to try and catch up with item level or get more item level to make key levels more approachable to me. Because I'm not the best tank in the universe or anything like that. I'm just, just a little dude. So I like to outgear the challenge because you can. 10s are outgearable, in my opinion. So even if you're a mediocre tank like me, you could actually get away with just having a bunch of item level. So to answer the question that was posed by the title and the thumbnail, yes, we're ready. The only thing I still have left to do, basically, is to get some enchants.
A few moments later.
Okay, I think that's just about everything. That was quite expensive. We actually spent almost 55,000-ish gold on all this stuff that you can see down here. It was quite expensive. It mostly, actually, the gems ended up being really, really expensive, which is not usually the case, but oh well. We bought magnificent jeweler settings to add sockets to all of our jewelry. You can get 2 sockets per piece of jewelry, and you can do that with these jeweler settings. I'm quite happy with my jewelry, so I don't mind actually adding these items into it. I think it's perfectly fine. We got 1 of each gem color, so an onyx, an emerald, a sapphire, and a ruby. And we have quite a few extra sockets from running this thing, so we're going to be just fine on that front. That way we can get the most bang for our buck when it comes to the culminating blasphemite, which increases the critical effect. Now I seem to have miscalculated and bought an extra deadly sapphire, but I don't really mind. We're focusing on crit and versatility. That seems to be what you stack on this class. Mastery being the 3rd best option and haste being the worst option for Brewmaster. Unfortunately, I have quite a good chunk of haste and not as much mastery. If these two could swap their numbers, I would be super happy. And if crit and verse could swap their numbers, I would be even happier. But it is what it is. We kind of just got random gear and we tried to make the best of it. Let's also apply all of our enchants. And with that done, we are rocking every single enchant we could get. We have everything gemmed and socketed and all of that stuff. And without further ado, it's time to go do our first +2 key. It is, of course, a Streets of Wonder. I am debating whether or not I want to do this to myself. Maybe I should just start things off with a +6 key. I feel like that might be a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. We've got a lot of item level. We've got all the enchants. We've got good trinkets. We've got everything we could possibly want. So we're just going to jump into a +6 if they'll have me, of course. And what better way to see if I can live or not than doing a Priory? Oh, we get invited. Okay, let's go. Tank privilege is a thing. One thing I just wanted to point out is I have no tier set. I don't even have 2 set or anything like that, so that's going to be a little bit annoying. The reason I don't is because I don't want to risk tierifying something for 2 set and then getting that as the only tier set item from the vault and not being able to get 4 set. So I'm going to wait until tomorrow when we get our vaults, and then I'll see what it is I can tierify to get 4 set. And here we go. First pull. I have to reply right now because there was no pull timer. Everyone was ready, so the party leader just ripped and went for it. So we do first pull Bloodlust, and this might be a little bit interesting. So there's no Breath of Fire, so I'm a little bit interested in how I'm meant to keep aggro, because I don't know, man. It feels like that's not exactly aggro keeping friendly here. We'll see if anyone pulls anything extra. I hope not. We're gonna go ahead and throw a exploding keg over there. And I'm going to try and manage my stagger here. That's my job, is to manage my stagger And if I'm able to try and keep myself safe here, I shouldn't have too much trouble because the big slam now, the shield slam, is actually dodgeable. If your character is actually able to dodge it, that is. Mine wasn't there for a second, but it's all right. We got another chi burst. That should be able to help us here with aggro. Because the one thing I'm worried about on Brewmaster is aggro. I'm going to use a Tiger Brew and Brew Infusion, or Celestial Brew, or Celestial Infusion, whatever, man. I don't even know. I'm a little rusty, okay? I haven't played this yesterday because I was taking a break from the 24-hour stream that I did. But it looks like we're chilling here, though. Now, one thing that I did forget to actually use is my Rushing Jade Wind. I'm kind of winging it here. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm getting back into the swing of things, as it were. But I'm able to keep myself relatively safe. I did get rooted here. I'm not a big fan of that, but I should be okay. I don't have a stun to stop that. The Knight is living forever. Suleiman's living forever. Can't say I'm a huge fan of it, but I think we're kind of okay. We're gonna touch a death Suleiman, and this Knight should quickly follow. I'm going to start getting into combat here, and I'm going to just slam these guys as well. And I'm looking for Chainmail. She's going to approach down the stairs. I'm gonna chi burst through all of these, keep keg smashing. There's Chainmail. I'm going to taunt her, keg smash, exploding keg here, and now we're chilling. We got big dam coming in from the weapons of order. By big dam, I mean mediocre damage, but it's going to do enough. Okay, I'm a little nervous. Why am I nervous? I'm feeling nervous. I'm going to try and move Chainmail at least out of the fenders, or the defends from the Knights, and it seems to be working relatively well. We're going to pop a big ol' Black Ox keg, or Black Ox brew, sorry, whatever. They're kegs, brews, all sorts of things. Looks like our healer went down. Our Demon Hunter got caught in something. Master Spell goes out, probably for the affix. I haven't been paying attention to it, and I apologize about that. I probably may have caused some issues with that. I'm going to try and kill the sharpshooter by stacking on top of it, and holy moly, am I flustered. This person saw this coming from a mile away and just stood there and took it. You know, sometimes I just respect it. Sometimes that's just how you deal with things. Exploding keg, I probably should have kept exploding keg for myself to be able to get aggro when we go upstairs, but we seem to be big chilling here. Healers at 25% mana. I'm gonna say they're drinking. Okay, I'm gonna wait for their mana. I'm gonna take a look upstairs to see where the patrol is. This one's quite far away. We do need to kill that patrol. I would like to avoid killing but pulling the night patrol right now. So I think we go now. Healer's a decent mana. We're gonna smack this. I'm gonna chi burst through this, make sure that this Knight gets the thing, and I keep forgetting about my Rushing Jade Wind. I can already see I'm gonna be making a WeakAuras for this. Now, ideally, I would be able to avoid myself pulling the patrol, the Night patrol that comes in here. We're gonna stun everything here to make sure that these guys are not being affected by the defend. This seems unlikely now. I wanted to bounce them to stop the defense, but I feel like it might not even be worth it. Now, the Night patrol is kind of scary in and of itself. I want to avoid pulling this priest with it. For some reason, when I do that, people just start falling over and dying. I'm gonna exploding keg it, that just to pull it. We're going to touch this mob, and then we can move on to this group. And Celestial Infusion will be going out here as soon as I build up enough stacks. We don't seem to be taking all that much damage. That group is just going to get pulled, so I'm going to switch to it. I'm going to taunt this guy. I don't know how to get aggro on this spec. It's kind of annoying. I don't have a stun. I'm going to bounce this guy closer. He was about to jump over, so that kind of felt pointless. And I need to get another taunt in. I am so flustered. I apologize. This is probably not the best thing to watch. Maybe, you know, even though I have gear, maybe gear is not enough. Maybe I should know what the hell I'm doing. I feel like I just needed some kind of warm-up. But nobody's dying. I'm surviving. Hopefully I'm not stressing out the healer too much with the HPS issues. Oh my goodness. But I feel like I'm doing okay. I'm staying on top of my stagger. I'm not being overwhelmed by it. I think it's fine. Just going to very quickly roll over here. I'm going to dispel someone. Never mind. We used a master spell, so it wasn't necessary. And we're good to go into... I kind of don't want to pull... I want to pull Damien on his own. And we're going to pull this group right here. I feel like that'll be fine. Exploding keg will go down as soon as these are in range. There they go. I just kicked absolutely nothing instead of the Conjurer, which is what I wanted to kick, but that's all right. I genuinely don't know why I have spinning crane kick on my bar. I feel like I'm just randomly pressing it for no good reason. I'm gonna bounce this guy closer to us. We have a kick for this, so we're big chilling, and we're gonna try and stack on this one sharpshooter that exists, and there's no reason to just stand there next to it, like near it, when I could be standing on top of it. A shockwave seemingly goes out to stop these guys from doing their defend, which is wonderful. I feel like we're doing okay, but I realized in that moment when I was thinking it, that I hadn't been using Rushing Jadewind, so that's been a little bit annoying. Also, my route feels a little bit wonky because I wanted to pull the patrol into this group here, which may not have been the best option, but it would have been one of the options, I guess. I don't know. I still need to work out exactly how I want to pull this place up here, because pulling things that cast into Damien feels like a really bad idea. But we are going to pull Emberlands. I want to zap, and I want to Exploding Keg here, get aggro, kaboom. There we go. That should do it. I'm going to use my Diffuse Magic to send that Judgment back onto Emberlands, if I can. If not, then I just want to have the Dispel. I think it's okay. And then the healer doesn't have to worry about at least one Dispel here. Now this one, he could potentially worry about, or she, sorry. Gonna bounce closer with this Sharpshooter right now. That should be good. We big chillin', actually. Like, I was a little bit worried about how things were gonna go, but it turns out we're actually just big chillin'. I'm just gonna ping danger here so that people don't accidentally pull that. I'm gonna step a bit closer in this direction, and I think I do need to start using some expel harm here. I need to adjust some WeakAuras just to get myself into the right mind space, or headset, or what, headspace and mindset with this character. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, now we're ready to go into our first boss fight. 2 minutes left on the Bloodlust timer, which is fine. That means I can do a big pull upstairs. I'm just going to hope here that people do interrupt. Yeah, okay, they do interrupt. I'm going to put focus on Dual Maul so that I can target Dalecry, but kick Dual Maul with my focus macro. And I feel like that's going to be nice. Ember Storm's going out. We drop a, what is this thing called? A Darkness, but that doesn't really do much because Ember Storm is swirlies. Sure, you could avoid taking damage from the swirly, but I don't think that's a big issue. I think I just lagged there and a bunch of stuff happened at the same time. Luckily, somebody did kick Dalecry. I'm going to stop risking it for the biscuit and just focus on kicking Dalecry no matter what, because I have a feeling that if I don't, something might happen that's bad. And these fireballs, sure, they do a bit of a pinch on you. They do kind of hurt, but what hurts even more is the Dalecry buff going out and us wiping. So I'm gonna have to focus here for a little bit, make sure that people are nice and safe. I'm gonna send out some of my off healing that I can do. Nobody bothering to really kick this target. I'm gonna move Dalecry back over to here, because that way we can cleave. If you cleave, you do actually do more damage to Dalecry. On mythic difficulty, there's this buff. You see these people or whatever, like this icon. That means that people are going, that the damage being done, or it's not this icon that means that, but it's a buff basically that shows, hey, please kick, please kick. Oh, thank goodness, Cowmet, which is, I hope, a Tauren warrior. Yes, it is. What it means is any damage done to what's his face, any damage done to the lieutenant will also be done to the boss. Sorry, that took forever because I was trying to do 15 different things. I told the group to lust this, and yeah, let's do this. I am actually lagging. I don't know why I'm lagging. I'm going to hit this as well. I'm going to smack this group. We're going to chi burst through the middle of this. Weapons of Order. We're going to dampen harm. We're going to try and get a chi infusion in, or sorry, a celestial infusion in. I really hope that this lag does not persist, because it's actually kind of bothering me. It's kind of rough a little bit when I'm supposed to use off the global cooldown things before I use other cooldown things. But I think I'm going to survive here long enough to get to my next Celestial Infusion before I use Black Ox Brew, which I'm going to use now to get another Celestial Infusion in here in a second. There's a Celestial Infusion. Let's use these to clear our stagger. I'm just purely focusing on clearing as much stagger as humanly possible while mashing everything else. Oh goodness, I didn't have Rushing Jadewind going for that. We're going to try and interrupt the priest. Paralysis on the priest. Okay, I'm gonna have to just kite here for a second, and then I can go back in with Exploding Keg. I don't think, yeah, I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna have to run in like this. Not sure. These guys are just kind of living forever, man. Kind of just living forever. We're gonna have to like soft reset here. We don't lose progress, but I feel like I failed the group here in pulling too big. I should have paid attention to how little damage the group was doing for most of the run, and that was kind of our downfall here. Things just lived a little bit too long. I'm gonna try and get some kicks in. I think I failed my kick here, or I didn't even cast it. Celestial Infusion a bit away. Okay, we're just about done with so many of these are just about dead. Okay, bit of an overpull. Bit of an overpull, but a good limit test for me. This is not going to cost us the key, not even close. So I'm not worried about it, but a good limit test. For the first day of M Plus on Season 3 Brewmaster, a good limit test. Our healer here is going to wait for mana, and then we're going to go and blast off. I don't know what that trap is. Is that a tar trap? What is that trap? I don't know what it is, but it's making me nervous. Exploding keg over there and regular keg smashes over here. We're going to use a quick chi burst through all of them, and that should be fine. We're going to dampen harm while everything starts smacking the crap out of me. And there we go. Bob is your uncle. I don't know what that phrase means anymore, but we're going to bounce that guy over, make sure he doesn't get that heal off, get that Celestial Infusion with 6 Purified Chi stacks going. Black Ox Brew coming in again. 20 million is when I will be clearing. Let's get a Celestial Infusion in again. Try and kick those priests. Chi Burst goes through. We do have Weapons of Order. I don't know if I need to use them here anymore. I think we're chilling. Okay, so that was quite a pull, wasn't it? That one right before this. That's quite a pull. Good Bloodlust pull. Didn't quite pinch through with the damage, unfortunately. I can't say I contributed much in that regard, but at least I lived for a fair good while. That was really nice. Now I have a feeling that I am being healed the absolute most out of anyone at any given point in time, but I'm just gonna say good job, healer. I feel sorry for him having to heal my dumb ass. I did just lose 6 stacks of Purified Chi, but I'm not too worried about it here, to be honest with you. Move the boss as best we can. We're gonna taunt him to move him faster. We're gonna try and get some healing out here. Sacrificial Pyre goes off across the room. We're going to wait for the Castigator shields. There we go. Boom, boom, and then one more by the warrior. We're going to kick here, and that should be fine. Okay. So what I'm doing is I wanted to, I rolled, I had my double jump or dash after jumping or whatever, and with that, what I decided to do was make sure that I get 2 stacks, because that way I could just, you know, self-heal or sustain or just, you know, not take as much damage because I'm the tank and all that. So I can reduce the healer's troubles here from people trying to soak when they shouldn't. I'm not taking any damage. I literally cannot increase my stagger. It's kind of annoying. All right, I could get a third one. We're going to use a defensive. That should keep me more than safe. Or Demon Hunter kind of hopped in there. He did use a defensive. I'm going to look to off heal here as best I can. After every Rising Sun kick, I get a instant cast Vivify. It's from Vivacious Vivification. We're going to taunt the boss because that makes him move faster unless I don't have that talented. I do. But apparently that didn't work. Am I stupid? I think he was moving super slow. I don't know anymore. I don't think we can quite reach that. We dash once, we dash a second time. Bro, you don't need to soak it. Just let me soak, bro. Why are you soaking twice? Kill Nova. You're gonna heal over, more like it. What the hell, man? There ain't no reason for you to soak it twice when I could just take care of it. Okay, anyway, doesn't matter. Nobody died because the healer's an absolute legend. So we big chillin'. I'm gonna go in with Exploding Keg, get these guys to face the door here, put a focus on one of these. I definitely need, and I'm gonna do this as soon as I finish this run. I'm going to make myself a WeakAuras that's going to remind me to have a Rushing Jade Wind up. And ideally, okay, people are not kicking, really not kicking. At all, it feels like, and I kind of don't like it anymore. It's kind of starting to get a little bit annoying because these mobs are all just kind of spam casting at us, and there's a few people with a few kicks. Kill Nova's really good at soaking the thing on the boss, but he's not very good at kicking, apparently. Doesn't have that keybound. Who knows? Maybe he doesn't even have it talented because Wowhead sacrifices certain talents for builds just to get like 0.2% more damage, which in my opinion makes Wowhead builds absolute dog shit most of the time. Spinning Crane Kick here. We're gonna hit these guys, get out of there. Rushing Jade Wind once in the dungeon, and yeah, we're gonna keep that going. We're gonna put a focus on this mage. It's going to be casting the volley. We got to make sure we interrupt the volley. Volley is super scary. That'll hit everyone and do a lot of damage, so we want to make sure that that is not hitting anyone and doing any damage by interrupting it. Just something that maybe Kill Nova could look into. But I guess in +6 keys, you gotta just wing it. Shit, man, even I can tank +6 keys without really using my noggin at all. So maybe Kill Noah's just big chillin' if he's just gonna stick to +6 keys. I'm going to assume that they're still learning and getting used to. So the way progression for me usually works is when it comes to learning a new spec, I'm just gonna wait for the patrol and pull the patrol with this group, and it's gonna be big chillin'. Well, not very big chillin', but it's gonna be better than pulling accidentally and stuff like that. So we're just gonna wait for the patrol to get around here, and then we're going to toss one of these at them, one of these at these, gonna bounce them over here. And now we're going to need 3 people to interrupt, which is how many people we have interrupting, because we need 3 volleys to be interrupted. That's a stun right there. Exploding keg goes down. I'm going to stun now. Should have probably let them go during the middle of all that. Yeah, that wasn't exactly what I had planned. Nobody kicked the volleys. People are too busy doing damage. Oh well, this mage is about to send their volley. I'm going to kick that, and then I'm probably going to have my kick maybe available for the next ones, along with some CC that I can do. There's the volley. I'm going to touch of death that mage. Probably should have saved the touch of death for these that are going to be casting soon, but I do have a bounce available if necessary here in a moment. Nope, people seem to be interrupting things. We're going to use our heal on someone here who's dying, which is Garvalon. We can move all of these out. Whew, almost had one of them heal here from the explosion. That would have been annoying, but we big chillin'. Okay, dispel Garvalon, heal ourselves, kill Nova, and that is one more person left for the healer to heal. We're gonna wait for mana here for a moment because it's going to be really annoying if we don't. I'm just gonna ping this thing in case the healer wants to click that when he's done drinking. Slightly slow because I keep having to wait for drinks, but it's all right. We're going to do this, and then we're gonna pull more when these 2 priests die. I don't want to pull any sooner than that. Priest does grab all of that. We did all die, so Priest probably did grab stuff earlier. I'm going to use a dampen harm here just to keep things a little bit safer. We're going to stun everything. Shockwave also goes out. I'm going to be able to... Oh, one of those just disappeared. No, it got mind controlled, I think. No, it died. What the heck? Okay, when this gets to about 40% is when I'm going to pull more, because I don't really have the guts to pull things in case things live. Okay, he's at 40%. We're going to zap. It's exploding keg on these guys. Brawn Pike needs to die. That's what I'm concerned with is Brawn Pike's HP. I'm going to keep myself alive here. Going to focus on getting the Celestial Infusion. There it is. I'm going to pull in this group. Staggered pull here actually kind of works out because these guys, when they die, they explode and deal damage. So if I can offset them dying so they don't all die at the same time, I'm kind of big chilling. Now you'll notice throughout the run, if you're an experienced Brewmaster main, I fucking suck. But I did not play this since last season near the end. I did play it for 24 hours, but it was leveling content and delve, so you can't really expect me to know what the hell I'm doing until I get some practice in. I will probably get some practice in today during the... Actually, I don't think it's going to be today. I'm still recovering from the 24-hour stream, so maybe I'll get some practice some other time in between episodes, but... yeah, I'll get some practice in when I'm not commentating or doing leveling content, and then that is probably going to be enough for me to not really suck all the time at everything. Also, I need to adjust some WeakAuras, like I said. Calmet needs to get dispelled. He does get dispelled. Very nice. Blinding Light is going out. We're going to turn around. Calmet unfortunately gets hit by it. Doesn't seem to know what's going on, or is just kind of having some whoopsie-daisy moments, which is understandable. Sometimes you just have whoopsie-daisy moments. Exploding Keg's gonna go down. I have a bounce back available for whatchamacallits. When the boss goes upstairs and we start getting some ads, we're gonna turn around. Comet doesn't understand how to not get hit by that, doesn't know how to turn around, but luckily our priest has a dispel available for them, and they're gonna be big chill out even if they don't know. Hopefully they figure it out by the end of this. I'm not gonna move the boss too much. Comet does at least understand that he needs to move this away, so that's kind of nice. There's another blinding light. Comet does seem to figure it out now. Nice job, dude. I love to see that. People actually sometimes learn quickly. That's kind of nice. All right, boss is going upstairs. We're going to go ahead and make our way up there. Probably should have followed the rest of the group and gone this way, but it's no big deal. I'm going to try and stack on top of them. Maybe that prompts these guys to go the same way. No, it doesn't. There's more on my side, so I'm going to use my ability here to bounce them back like so. And we're going to move this. I'm going to send a keg at them. Exploding keg, trying to move away, trying to not have people get hit by it. Nobody's using any CC on them. I should have hit them with a stun. It's all right. Bloodlust goes out. Should have gone out during the intermission, but it's no big deal. We only got one set of ads, which means that we did kill the shield fast enough, so that is good. We turn around. We don't want to get blinded. Garbalon, whatever. gets hit by that. That is unfortunate. We don't have a CR available, but we're near the end of the first, or the last boss, I should say. I imagine this is the first boss. Everything else is just trash. We're just about done. Yeah, okay, this is going to work out. Percent is looking good. Everything's there. Let's quickly res Garvalon so he doesn't release. And that is our first key done. Our first M+ dungeon on the Brewmaster. Not my best showing. I feel like I could have lived more in that second boss trash area, but I should have recognized that the DPS wasn't as high as it could have been in order to clear those. Overall, pretty happy with my performance because, you know, it is my first run. I am kind of rusty. Definitely need better uptime on Weapons of Order. Definitely need to make a WeakAuras for rushing Jadewind. So we're going to go into that. Pow, we're going to hit people with the macro and then we're going to peace out. They did great. They did great. It felt like, you know, packs lived a little bit longer, but it could just be me. Maybe I'm used to M0s because that, like, the M0 pace is super fast. Or I'm also probably used to playing with Danny and Seeker and stuff, and Marcus, who all blow things up so fast that it's not even funny. We got our cracked keystone quest done, so that's nice. That's a 93 gold. That's what I really wanted. Obviously, we want the gilded crest from that. Also, the rune crests aren't bad, but the gilded crest is where it's at. We're going to use those gilded crests to recraft this Ring of Earth and Craftsmanship as soon as we get a few more, which we will probably get tomorrow. We'll get a few more. I'll do my 6 key that I get from the vault, push it up to maybe an 8, to do that 8, get a bit. I'm also probably going to do some tier 11 delves, which give you gilded crests. So that's going to be nice. That's going to add up bit by bit. So rushing Jadewind WeakAuras. Let's make that.
One eternity later.
So I took a bit of time to make some changes to the WeakAuras that are going to help me out. The first and foremost thing is what I said I would make, which is the rushing Jadewind thing. So if I'm not in combat and I target something, it's going to dance here. If that target is an enemy. If I target a friendly, it's not going to do anything. So I can target my party members without having to freak out or anything like that. So this is because sometimes I'll target things as I'm walking up to them. I want this to remind me like, hey, you should probably activate this before you get into the nitty gritty of things. So we're going to activate it here and get into the middle of all this nonsense. Okay, so we're doing our thing and our Jadewind runs out. It's going to start reminding us here like, hey, dumbass, use your Jadewind. Boom, just like that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So another thing I did was I added Invoke New Zao, the Black Ox over here, because I had not used this a single time. I made these icons smaller because now there's 4 of them instead of just 3 because Chi Burst is a thing. I think I might remove Chi Burst and make these slightly larger again because Chi Burst, I just feel like if I have it here reminding me to use it on cooldown, I probably don't need it on the side telling me it's off cooldown. Because whenever I'm in combat, I'm just going to have it. So red bar, I'm going to go over here. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to make these icons that are in here all 28 pixels again. Because I think that's what they were before. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, some slight modifications still being done. I'm really happy with this rushing Jadewind thing. Also, another thing I changed was this. And actually, I just realized that one of the things I changed does not work. So give me a second. There we go. I fixed it. So basically, when I have blackout combo, I want this button to glow, or by this button being Tiger Palm, because I feel like it just makes sense. Instead of having like a buff icon above it that tells me I have blackout combo, I kind of don't care. It's going to be less cluttery. There's going to be less stuff above my bars that I need to pay attention to, so I think that's going to be nice. I guess one last thing left to check is whether the Celestial Infusion thing works as I expect it to. I'm trying to build up 6 stacks of, there we go, with 6 stacks of purified whatever the heck. This is actually telling me, hey, use your Celestial Infusion. There we go. So everything I wanted works now. Cool. We'll see how annoyed I am with rushing Jadewind and how much I need to actually have that icon over here as I get a bit more used to it, but I feel like this will help me keep up the buffs that I need to keep up. The reason rushing Jadewind is as important as it is because it triggers the New Zao stomps. So walk with the Ox, your damaging abilities have an increased chance to blah 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 blah. Those can be triggered by rushing Jadewind, so we want that as close to 100% uptime as possible. With those changes, I do believe that's it for the first episode of the Brewmaster Monk part of the All Tanks, All 10s Mega Series. Hopefully you enjoyed it. even though I was a little bit flustered. I didn't really play optimally. But hey, that's the whole point of the series, is to learn how to play all these tanks, at least to the level where I can do +10s relatively comfortably. If you enjoyed the episode, drop a like, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. If you made it to this point in the video, include the word wind in your comment, because I did not use Rushing Jade Wind enough at all. If you do include the word wind in your comment, I'll make sure to heart it when I see it. But as always, friends, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.